Hello. Welcome, everyone, to the Ballinesian podcast, episode 91, week 15 recap. Going to go and look at some playoff teams. We're going to look at some not playoff teams and the 63-21 game that happened between the Chargers and the Raiders, and also the path to the playoffs for some of these middling in the hunt teams. So, if your team is still vying for a playoff spot or could improve, stay tuned. Ballinesian podcast sponsored as always. Check out Levasa Island Apparel, www.levasaislandapparel.com. Shout out to brother Uri Hosea out there in Modesto, California. Via Dolorosa Church. Check them out. Saturday food drive that they have. And let's get into what happened in week 15. You want to start it off with what the week started off with last Thursday? I know it feels like forever ago. I'm so glad we're 5 days removed from
like I was telling you, there's charges brought up against the 53-man roster of the Las Vegas Raiders for assault.
Just,
Oh man. As a Raiders fan, I don't know if everyone was expecting that outcome of the game, and it wasn't just like like an all-out offensive manslaughter.
Right. See, now I'm
No,
gonna look the stats.
AOC only, I don't want to say only, AOC had 128 yards on, I don't know what the
248 yards.
Oh, is this 240? No, he had 100. I think. I don't know if he passed 200. I think he only had 100 passing.
According to the
4 touchdowns.
This is ESPN. 20 of 34, 248 yards,
okay,
4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
That's the biggest stat to me, was the no interceptions. Because if he threw 2 touchdowns and had no interceptions, I mean, that's a lot. Yardage, of course, I mean, you like to see like 300 or 400 yards, but at the same time, that doesn't always equate to touchdowns or scores, So it's great that the numbers look great. Running game was cool. Like, I was talking to another really big Raiders fan, my guy Bill. I used to work with Asplat. He said something about like, oh, it's good to see Brandon Bolden score. And I say, well, it's good to see Brandon Bolden other than on the special teams or the sideline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh, it's cool to see him score. Devontae got his touchdown. And then if we're talking about fantasy, I really thought Jacoby Myers should have had more points because he threw 2 passes, 1 for a touchdown, caught an amazing touchdown, and still had a few more catches during the game. So he was really filling in the stats.
2 catches, 32 yards, and a receiving touchdown, and 12 passing yards and a passing touchdown. So what does that come out to? 4.5.
I think it was altogether like 15,
11. Yeah, like 15 and a half points.
15 and a half points, which it was good to see. But also, since we're just talking about offense, Trey Tucker, I guess you could have said this was his breakout game where he had 2 touchdowns and they were over, I think, at least 10 yards. So, and that's what they need to use him for. He's their speed guy. They used an early draft pick. I want to say 3rd round for him. Is he coming out of Oregon State? Or is Trey Tucker coming out of
3rd round out of Cincinnati?
Sorry. So it was good to see him get going because, the last time I think they had somebody speedy like that who could take the top off of defense was
that guy,
Henry Ruggs. And I don't say it like I'm not signed because he's a bad guy. I'm signed because it was a sad story, and he was really coming into his own after, like right before the tragic accident that he was involved in. He was really he was finding his place on that team and in the league, So we haven't had that type of ability since him. And if Trey Tucker can turn into that for them, that'd be big. It would alleviate the possibility of losing Davante Adams this summer a little bit because any team
is he going to New York?
I don't know if he's going to New York.
But
He made.
you think he's leaving Vegas?
I don't know. If he wants to win the championship now, nothing against the Raiders, because if I'm being a non-biased Raiders fan, or if I, as an analyst, as we are right now,
Ooh,
I,
nice.
I think his best choice, best chance to win a championship would to be to leave and go. And New York is not that place. I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers. I know there's going to be a lot of people jumping into then the New York Jets all of a sudden next season are
Mm,
going to be playoff or like Super Bowl uh contenders, I guess, to people. The odds of them being the Super Bowl and winning are going to automatically skyrocket like they did this summer when Aaron Rodgers signed.
yeah.
Was weird. Uh,
Do you
it's
do you think Josh? When is Josh Jacobs coming back?
oh man, see, he's another guy like I don't know if you want to rush him back because they
He
do
only got
have
3 games left.
three. They do have backs in the they still have a
Oh, okay, yeah. You do
they
have a
still
lot of
have
backs.
guys. Yeah, they still have a lot of backs. Kind of unproven. Brandon Bolden probably has the most experience, but
Zamir White
Zeus,
got the
yeah,
start, and then
Zeus
Amir
White
Abdullah.
is pretty good. He's been running pretty
You
good.
say Zeus?
That's what they call him, Zeus White.
That's his nickname.
Yeah, Zeus.
Zeus.
Coming out of Georgia, that was his nickname. So
I know
yeah,
Abdullah was with the Lions. He was like a receiving back, and then Brandon Bolden was with the
he's
Patriots, a big body.
if you
That's
follow
a good
the
mix.
no, it is. If you follow the Abdullah, man, it seems like he's been in the league forever. Because I watched him at
Mhm.
Nebraska. He was a really good back out of Nebraska, and then again, like you said, drafted out with the Lions, and then he's been with a couple teams. But he's a really good third down back. So yeah, he gets like he runs hard. He's a little smaller than the other guys, but he's also their receiving back, so which is cool.
Abdullah.
Yeah, he's a receiving back, their third down back. But Brandon Bolden
Okay,
also still there. Um, so
nice. Well, okay, so you guys got the Chiefs, the
Broncos.
yeah, the Chiefs. You end with the Broncos. You got the Chiefs coming up next, and then some other man. Sorry,
I want to say
Chiefs
no.
next, then Colts at Chiefs at Colts versus Broncos. You guys
So
go 3-0 there. You finish the season 9-8, and you're going to be competing for that one of those
wild
wild
card.
card spots,
Yeah.
right? So if we look at the standings right now in the AFC, the Dolphins are 10-4. Well, let's just go for the Dolphins are 10-4 head of the AFC East. The Baltimore Ravens are 11-3 at the top of the AFC altogether. And then you have the Kansas City Chiefs at 9-5. They've got the Broncos 2 games behind them. It's crazy that the AFC West is still open. Like the Chiefs usually are locking it up by week 14,
Right.
15, 16.
Right.
Um, but the Broncos and I guess the Raiders too, theoretically, if the Chiefs lose out, starting this weekend versus the Raiders, it could be some crazy tiebreakers where the Broncos or the Raiders win the AFC West. Um, you guys played the Chiefs already? Did you guys win that game?
Yeah, no.
Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to figure out tiebreakers if you
It's
guys
like, you
you
know who
guys
we
both
beat?
ended up
We
9
beat
and
the
8.
Chargers. That's who we beat.
Okay. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars, Indianapolis Colts, and Houston Texans of the AFC South are all 8-6. So some of
I
those guys
think
are gonna have to fall up.
right now the Texans are the team outside looking in. One, because we don't know when CJ Stroud is coming back. And you are in the playoff hunt, but you gotta weigh it what your odds are really getting into the playoffs. So maybe CJ Stroud can sit a little bit longer if you don't think you're gonna be, you know what I mean, have a stronger run into the playoffs. But it's a business, so there's a lot that goes into that. It's tough though because it's a head injury and concussion. So I mean, would you bring
Mm.
your pretty much your franchise? He's proved that. You guys drafted your franchise quarterback.
I think they might be thirsty enough to push him and make it.
Hmm.
Just like already are spoiled by CJ Stroud's
Right,
like just like professionalism. Like he
right.
just stepped up and is a professional quarterback. No kind of rookie lag. He's just like stepped up and been very competent. overall professional quarterback, not just for
Right.
rookies, but he's
No,
one of the
yeah.
best in the league statistically this year. That's and
But
with the weapons that he has, like
and
not crazy big
well,
free agents or anything.
well, he doesn't
Like
have a lot of them now because
yeah, injuries to Tank Dell out for the season, Nico Collins
Nico
out. Yeah.
Collins, yeah, and so Noah Brown might be a little bit beat up too.
What?
Not out, but I mean, yeah,
Noah Brown's
he
been flashing. He's been
yeah
super exciting.
he looks a little beat up. So
So the Ravens are the only team in the AFC to have clinched a playoff spot with their win last night or on Sunday Night Football. And then the NFC, you have the Niners and the Eagles and the Cowboys who have clinched playoff spots. Cowboys and the Eagles going back and forth for the NFC East. And then the Lions at 10-4 have the NFC North. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 7-7 hold the NFC South. But then the Saints and I think the Falcons too are still in the mix there. So we're going to see some weird ones there. The Bills beat the Cowboys by a lot. What happened? James Cook. I saw it on my fantasy team. That's what happened. This guy.
yep,
James Cook had like 36 fantasy points.
it's funny that they run the offense to him, but you still have. I mean, Gabe Davis is also a pretty good receiver in the league, but you have one of the best receivers in the league playing on your team, but you're not actively. It seems like they're not actively trying to get him the ball. Like
Weird.
I don't know, Stephon Diggs. I mean, it might help if you try to get him the ball. So
Wait, what's wrong with the Bills? What are you saying?
it looks like they're not like actively trying to get Diggs the ball.
Oh, I feel that too. I
Right.
feel like Josh
Yeah.
Allen is like looking around at other
Right.
people. There was
And
that one play where Diggs like went out to he like ran a flare and he was just sitting out there waiting for the ball because he
waiting,
was the
right.
only one there. And Josh Allen was
Yeah.
like, nah, and he
Nah,
looked
yeah,
downfield
man.
and then he was about to get sacked, so he like looked back to Stephon Diggs and was like, here, take this. And Diggs got hit
Yeah.
like almost immediately. He was like, come on,
And
man, throw the
his
ball
it
sooner, bro.
right. And it's funny because his new target is Dalton Kincaid, his new favorite
That's what I'm
target. And
saying.
they did have those racist allegations at Wyoming.
What?
They-
Bro,
they-
what happened?
he had said some things while he was at Wyoming, and then during the
Oh,
draft, it came
Josh
back up.
Allen?
Yeah, then it came up during the draft, and then there was supposed to be like uh racial slurs that he has supposedly said. So
Uh,
there's that. I'm not. I'm. That was a joke, but I mean, you never know.
oh.
You never know.
What?
You never know. Uh,
Is that the vibe you get from Josh Allen? Racist?
I'm not gonna say because I don't know Josh Allen, but the only racists I know in the league are the Bosa brothers.
Yeah. Can't wait till we trade Joey Bosa. I hope we get some good picks.
Wow, I never thought I'd hear a Chargers fan say that.
Joey Bosa is not obviously super talented, right?
You
Worth
said
the number 2
Joey
overall pick.
Bosa is not Nick Bosa.
Joey Bosa is not Nick Bosa. Big Bear is not Little Bear.
Oh man,
That's for sure.
that's tough though. Yeah, because he early on it looked like he was about to.
Potential.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
definitely. And
you
working
think it's
across.
also you think it's injuries because I mean he's had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, definitely had injuries, and then he gets re-injured, and I think compensating. Like if your left foot is
Who
hurting,
who
you'll
who's
compensate with
more
your right
likely
foot,
to
and
get
it'll end up getting injured.
who's more likely to get dealt, him or Mac at the end of the season?
I think they should. I'm.
It,
I,
it, it I know you probably want to restart and maybe get rid of both and see what you get for both, but I
uh,
think it's feasible for the team to if you're going to get rid of one, it might be cheaper to keep one, and you know what I mean.
I'd rather keep Mac.
Hmm.
I'd definitely rather keep Mac. Just production, leadership, durability, availability. It seems like Khalil Mack, regardless of the age difference between him and Joey Bosa, just seems like the more constant and reliable piece. Joey
Uh,
Bosa, I feel like even when he's fully healthy, sometimes he gets swallowed up or doesn't
it,
affect the game the way he should. And he's like signed to a big contract. Like he's had a lot of time. I just don't. He's not going to
Oh,
be Strahan.
well,
He's not going to be some legendary edge rusher anymore.
sorry,
Especially with
Lance.
his brother being the freaking defensive player of the year.
There's been a break in football tonight. Seahawks beat the Eagles.
Hey, there you go. Seahawks continue their possibility of getting into the NFC playoffs. I think that bumps them up to the 8 or 7. Hey, the NFC is pretty open actually. Oh, the Rams and the Seahawks are both going for that. Both 7-7. Damn, and that means the Cowboys take back over the East.
Here, can you see this? My sister just sent me this. Uh, where is the camera? Can I get it on there?
Try to put it in front of your face.
I don't know. Can you see it?
Now bring it. Sorry, what does it say? I can't. First middle
So,
finger emoji, and then
good luck for the rest of the season. I just beat her in fantasy.
hey,
So on to the playoffs, on to the semis for me in that league.
nice. Get it, bro. Go win.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, and all these people, they better be thankful because that money, pray that I win it. That's all everybody's Christmas gifts.
So the Niners are now first in the NFC at 11-3. Well, they were first at 11-3, and then the Cowboys at 10-4, and then the Eagles are now the fifth seed at 10-4. So if but if the Eagles win their 2 games against the Giants coming up, I think those division numbers will either tie or beat Dallas's, and they'll get the NFC East again. Jacksonville Jaguars, Indianapolis Colts, Houston Texans. Which one of those three? They're now at 8-6. They're all now at 8-6. Do you think are going to win?
Or win that spot.
Win the division, the AFC South.
I like Jacksonville to win the division.
Oh yeah, at Buccaneers versus Panthers at Titans.
Yeah, I like the Bucks.
Oh man. And then the Colts have the Falcons, Raiders, and Texans coming up. And the Texans, let's see. Sorry, the Browns, Titans, and Colts. So definitely the Jaguars look like they're going to be they could possibly win out there, be 9 or 11-6.
Again, though, like these games at the end of the season, especially with teams that are in consideration, and I'm not saying all teams are like this or all people, but I know if I was on a team, the one thing that I would get the satisfaction if I'm not going to make the playoffs is making sure the teams that I'm about to play spoiler and not have them make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like the Panthers, they don't have really any incentive to lose because they don't get that pick. If is it top 3 or top 5 protected? I can't remember.
Protected.
The pick that Carolina gave to Chicago, or is it just outright that first round?
No. I think that's in the NBA. There's not there as far as I know. There's no pick protections in the NFL.
Okay.
Like that is a
So
straight
yeah,
up. If you trade your first round pick, it's just.
so the only way the Panthers get a pick in the first round is to trade somebody, which is likely because I mean a lot of people are looking to acquire the services of either Derek Brown or Brian Burns. Those 2 guys have been the talk of a lot of trade talks during the season. So I know off season, I think Brian Burns might be a free agent because I don't know if they got a contract extension fixed for him. Same thing with Derek Brown. So, but again, the Panthers don't really they don't gain anything by not winning. So I mean, yeah, I think they revel in the fact that they can play spoiler to some of these teams. I mean, they did win this past Sunday. Good for them. Shout out to Frankie Lou for getting another win, man. That guy plays hard every day. He goes to practice and trains when he's not in actual practice, like he's still in the off season. It's amazing. And this is not even me being biased because he's family, but if you're a young kid and you want to see somebody work and you want to pick up work ethic and just the drive to succeed, follow Frankie Lou. He shows a lot. He's very transparent with some of these. It's not like he's not having fun when he has the time off. He does. But when it's time to work, he works. and then he works harder. And then when there's more work to be done, he works even harder. So yeah.
The Panthers have 3 playoff teams: Packers, Jaguars, and Buccaneers coming up.
Oh, see,
Uh,
man, they could
let's
really spoil some.
yeah, go for it. But I don't, man. Sammy started Bryce Young, and she ended up losing her playoff match by like 1.5 points. And it's
You should
like,
have told her not
bro,
to start yet.
that was, yeah, bro. Round 1 of the playoffs, waiver wire ain't shit.
Yeah.
But it was super flex, so she was like, at least a quarterback, quarterback could score, and I think he had like a double digit game before, but I think he gave her like 7 points.
I think so.
And
Because
that
I
shit
mean,
is not acceptable. Bro, I would it sucks that they gave up their first round pick because I would immediately have doubts on the small quarterback. Even you're supposed to give them some time to develop and get used to the speed of the
no, of
pro
course,
game, but
that's
I'm looking like, Bryce Young, good guy, but just getting eaten up back there. Just the lines are huge around him, and he is small, and I feel like that's affecting. I don't know. I'd freaking trade out and get one of these new quarterbacks, bro.
I mean, but to be honest, some of them aren't that much bigger than him. So we'll see. I am order of Bryce Young, so I really do want to see what they can do with better players around him. And I'm not to say that it's because he doesn't have great players around him that he's not, producing, because he still has Steven. I wish Terrence Marshall would have broke out this season. He didn't. He wanted to be traded. They got a couple of good tight ends in what's his name? I want to say Brown, but Ian Smith, and then they have who else do they have? They got some pieces. I hope they put it together. It's tough. They lost their coach mid-season. So
Speaking of
hopefully
which,
yes, I think you guys are gonna be good. I think you guys are gonna sign Belichick.
so my personal thing, we don't have to go on the Chargers for long. We don't really know what's happening. The owner says that there won't be any limitations on the search, right? Like,
Hmm.
people say that the Chargers are going to be cheap and hire another coordinator instead of going after a coach that really knows what it takes to, play championship football and to run an organization to that standard. Bill Belichick obviously has won many a Super Bowl. He's got 5 or 6. Um, and he likes the West Coast. Like, he's super grumpy, but I've seen him smile before, and I've also
Hey,
seen him in like beach shorts, like when people catch him. Oh shit, Bill Belichick! Like, uh, I think it would be a good time. What I'm worried about is that it's like a retirement job for him, and he's like, well, I'm gonna go surfing later, so I don't really care what you do, Justin. Uh, but also just that not not allowing this like low standard of football, of losing these close games all the time, of losing these big games, of getting blown out by the Raiders. Record-setting game, by the way. Most points the Chargers have given up. Most points the Raiders have scored.
well,
The Raiders' defense had 25 points.
they did. They helped me. They helped me win the game I just won in fantasy. They are helping Matt. If he hasn't already beat Tullamore tonight.
He was up by like 50.
Oh, okay, never mind. I don't know. I was like, I just need Seattle's kicker to make 9 field goals. I was like, oh, I feel you, my guy. I feel you.
Bro, I be doing fantasy math. That's fantasy math, bro. I just need John Harbaugh to put Justin Tucker in one more time with
One more
only
time.
18 seconds left.
Right.
Come on, get the full 16-point lead.
He can kick it from 75 yards.
Yeah,
I've seen him make it.
try. Let him try, coach. You're holding him down. Justin Tucker for president.
But
Freaking
they,
the playoffs. Dolphins are in the mix right now, but I want to read something my mom wrote me about the Dolphins. Um, I've decided that professional sports like football is a big waste of my time because of the Miami Dolphins. I am glad they lost because they deserve it. Their leaders, starting from their coach, is foul mouthed and has no self discipline when speaking in the media and forgets about children and families watching. It is a shame what our country has come to. Oh my God.
Bro, that totally sounds like your mom and your auntie Angela. I'm telling you, bro, that is spot on,
I was
man.
like, where the hell is Mike McDaniel cussing up a storm? And I could only think of one production, and that's got to be HBO's Hard Knocks. So my mom's watching Hard Knocks.
It sounds like it because I mean, yeah, he's pretty free on there. Well, because he's supposed to be, but
It's like, I'm not changing, and neither do you. You don't have to
yeah,
either.
yeah.
But that's
That was like the first. That was
wanted,
the opening episode. The first episode.
just wanted to check in there with the State of the Union.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Dolphins are 10-4. Tua and them just coming off a 30-0 win over the Commanders.
And they were able to rest Tyreek Hill and still get the win. So that's big for them. Because having Tyreek down the stretch, with this playoff run that they're gonna embark on this coming week, and for the playoffs, you want them to be fully healthy. You want your guys to be fully healthy, so they were able to get that win in and not have to have Tyreek play. It was great. Also, Waddle went off for a good game, so that's promising. He's been a little quiet lately, especially in fantasy. Damn you, Waddle.
The Dolphins have the Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills next. The Cowboys got that number one defense right, Michael Parsons. The Ravens, number one in the AFC, and then the Bills, big division matchup. And so if the Dolphins lose these next two games, and the Bills win their next two games, which is
they Chargers
on Saturday and Patriots. No. The Easton Stick Chargers and the Patriots. We might be coming down to like a 10-6 showdown for the AFC East in Week 18.
We shall see.
It on paper, it looks totally possible. Yeah. So, but it's going to be at Dolphins. Okay. Whew. So two of them will at least have the advantage if it did come down to that. But if they win any of those games before that, I think they lock up the AFC East. So big games versus the Cowboys and the Ravens. For Tua and the Dolphins, God bless all their freaking foul mouth souls.
I saw one of the coolest stats for Mostert. I think the 8 seasons or how many other seasons before he got to the Dolphins, he had, I think, a combined total of, I want to say 19 touchdowns. And then this season alone, he has 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This isn't his first season on the Dolphins, though, right? Was it last season?
I think last season was his first.
He came over with McDaniel.
Yeah, he was a little hurt when he came over from Frisco. He's had some injury problems, but he's always been like a flash in the pan back. Like one week you see him do something and you're like, oh shit, Mostert's gonna be the dude. Especially when he was with San Francisco, you were like, oh no, he's San Francisco's about to be nice with Mostert in the backfield, and then you get hurt, and then he's back to the back of the lineup again, and then finally he got to Miami where they let him play running back. They traded away, or they didn't re-sign. Was it Gaskins that was with them?
They drafted Devon Achane.
They did not. Yeah, expecting maybe not for Achane to be right away the starter, but I think with that in mind, or maybe just even a change of pace back.
The Seahawks also did that. They drafted Charbonnet in the second round when they already had Kenneth Walker.
It's working out for them pretty great. It's working out for them pretty great. I mean, the league has changed. I mean, you do have your lead back. You always want to have your lead back, I think, in my opinion. But to have a stable of good runners behind your back,
Mm.
that's working out. Like we've seen it. They talked about it a lot with the Raiders because of McDaniels coming over from the Patriots, where the Patriots ran a running back by committee, which worked for them for a long time. But you just never really had your lead back established. That might also hurt you because, like, you want the guy to be the guy at a certain moment. You want, to turn back and be like, no, no, give it to that guy. You know what I mean? So I think teams are,
Even if you're that guy goes down, you have somebody like that that can
but so that's what
lead
the
it.
that's what the good backups are for. But you still want that one dude that you're always going to count on. So yeah, a lot of teams like look at man, another Baltimore running back goes down, and it's a long term injury for the rookie.
Keen
What is?
Mitchell,
Yeah, he went down this Sunday. They're saying it's
damn,
a long term injury, so which would mean he'll probably be back mid season next
yeah,
season.
next year,
Now he was running good, but again, those guys have like they had Dobbins, they have Gus Edwards, they had Mitchell. Who else do they have? They have another running back too. They have like just
Justice Hill,
that Justice Hill, all guys who are
jeez.
really good running backs. Nobody that like really pops out or has a season that where you would think like they're the top back in that backfield, but all of them are really good for them. So
I I was getting the reports that Jalen Hurts was sick and downgraded to questionable because he was so sick Friday and Saturday.
yeah,
So I ended up playing Trevor Lawrence last night in the Sunday night game instead of
Hurts
Jalen Hurts
tonight.
possibly
Yeah,
missing tonight. And I'm looking at the passing stats, and I feel like a genius, right? 17 of 31 for Jalen Hurts tonight versus the Seahawks, only 143 yards
and then
and
you look
two
at
interceptions. So he's like 4 points through the air for a quarterback. But Jalen
right.
Hurts, not just a quarterback, also led the team in rushing 82 yards and 2 touchdowns. Damn it.
Oh,
Oh,
I,
this
I,
guy's a machine. But also, I feel like they're going to get him hurt. They keep
I don't
doing
know.
that
They have
pile
a
on.
system. Yeah, yeah, the brotherly push or whatever they want to call it.
Brotherly shove.
That might get him hurt. I get it. Like, but also just a regular quarterback dive that could also get him hurt. So I mean, they do it the best. He hasn't gotten hurt from it yet. Seems like they're protecting him when he goes into the pile, and then the rest of the running is calculated. That's how their offense is built for him to make those runs. So I
Look,
think they've made the right calculations for injuries.
let's also look at the other side of this quarterback coin in the Monday Night Football game. We had
Which
Drew Lock.
the starter, which is interesting because they didn't name a starter till right before the game.
I think Gino is still hurt.
No, he was active, so that's what they were trying to figure out before the game who they were going to play at quarterback.
22 of 33 for Drew Lock, 208 yards and a touchdown. And it came on the last drive.
You know what's going to be funny is to see other teams how they value Drew Lock, especially teams who are needing a quarterback. If like these last two games, if maybe he's changing someone's mind about whether he should be a starter or not, because he was projected to be the starter in Seattle when he went over there. So he's played pretty fairly good. And it's only been two games, but he looks pretty good out there.
The
And
the
then
the last drive, it's a minute 52 seconds left. So it's under 2 minutes. And the Seahawks go 92 yards for a game-winning touchdown.
those, if you're if you're a Philly fan or any fan on the other side of that, those are the toughest to watch because you got like it's 90 yards and you're thinking in your head, nah, 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 we're good, we're good. We're gonna get a couple stops. You know what I mean? We'll stop them before they get to the 50 at least, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, they're in field goal range, and then they drive even more, and you're like, great, we just lost. and you have to endure that for 90 yards.
What did this guy have? 92. Dang, they passed it all. Damn, deep shots to Metcalf for 34 yards, and then the touchdown to Jackson Smith and Jigba for
Yeah,
29 yards.
that popped
Okay.
up on my phone. Yeah.
Okay. So he got the big shots. I mean, I feel like those big shots, especially like a 30-yard bomb when you need to get into field goal position or when you're trying to mount a late game scoring drive for the win. Those bombs can be very helpful. And Drew Lock obviously has shown that he's got great arm talent, and he's also got the swagger.
He does.
Swaggy
They
white
they
kid.
they used to show him in Denver on the bench, going word for word with like Lil Wayne, and yeah, so that's pretty dope. I don't
34.
know if that constitutes a starting transfer in the league somewhere, but he is one of the better backups. I can tell you that.
Drew
Because some of the,
Lock.
yeah, I think he's one of the better backups in the league.
Oh, there definitely is a need for better quarterbacks, especially backup quarterback, because when your starting quarterback goes down, it feels like your season is just over.
Right.
Um,
And like, you've been dreaming about it for your whole life. Like, how do you take that news? Or like when you come to that realization and you're like, you know what? I'm just I think I could be a really good backup in the league. Like, it's like it's never your goal. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like your goal is obviously to come into the league, start, make great money and be a star somewhere. But
I think backup quarterback, you still make millions
no, of course. Oh yeah,
and don't have to
definitely
like
do it,
do
do as
anything.
much. Yeah. But I'm saying like in your head, because you've been really like grooming yourself with everybody else to be like a starting quarterback in the NFL. I wonder how that goes, your thought process, and when you accept it, if that just helps you to become like a really good backup. You know what I mean? Just ready to go, but also ready to sit back down when it's time to sit back down.
When the young kid when Justin Fields comes back, you're like, all right,
Right,
thanks. Hey, thanks for letting me get a couple
right.
throws in, Justin. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Like there's like some of these guys are pretty cool about like again seeing Jimmy Garoppolo celebrate after that the big man returned the touchdown, Jenkins, and to see him run out and celebrate, and then also anytime AOC comes to the sideline, he's helping out. That's pretty dope. That takes a lot,
Yeah.
man. And I think Jimmy's still a good quarterback, but I think that makes him a really good quarterback.
Yeah, because Jimmy can still like be like, well, I'm a starting caliber
Yeah,
quarterback. I believe in myself. I can do that. I want that
right.
opportunity, but
Yeah,
also to realize that your contract is your contract and you're not going anywhere. You're sitting
right.
on this team. This is your team. You might as well like be
Be
a
a part
good
of it.
teammate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
and keep the vibes up
exactly.
instead of
Yeah,
just being one of the quarterbacks that are like
like who
sitting
was it?
back there waiting for some like just like looking like, oh man,
I
I
can't wait
want
till he
this is
gets
my
hurt.
team.
Yeah,
Look, I'm better than this guy. This guy sucks. Hey, get off the field.
yeah. Like Tannenhill when he first was taken out of the starting lineup and not going to go back in as a starter was he was honest about it. He was like, look, I want to be the starter. I don't like it that I'm going to the bench, but I am going to help him. Like, but that doesn't give much confidence to Will Levis. You know what I mean? Because you're like, man, I don't know. It's different. You weren't that good, Tannenhill.
I'm still looking at these Drew Lock numbers. 5 of 5 on the last. On 5 of 5 for
Hey, man,
92. 5 of 5, or sorry,
he was
5 of 10.
even
Five
though
of
that
ten for 92 yards in a game-winning touchdown. That's
they
crazy.
lost against Frisco, but he did a really good job in that game. I know he had a couple of interceptions, but like if you saw him early, you saw that he could actually play ball out there. So, I'm not too surprised about that last drive. Hey man, that's what coaches like to call winning time. You know what I mean? If you're not about winning time, then maybe you shouldn't be playing. And obviously Drew Lock, winning time.
I
Sorry,
know. I
Cholo.
know. Seahawks fans are happy to
Oh,
see
for sure.
competent quarterback play for their backup.
Apologies to Noah and Eddie. Tough loss, guys. Tough loss.
That is tough because he wasn't doing anything before that. That's also what I'm saying. Like of the he had the shit. Sorry, I just missed the stat. He had 208 yards, and 92 came in the final 90 seconds.
See, but that also might not be his fault. That could be just the play calling or like the
I
scheming
don't
that they
care
have for the
what the.
game.
I'm saying he's not able to do anything until it's like
You know what
clutch
it
time.
is? I think he's a Jordan athlete, and I think every Jordan athlete gets the bottle that Jordan had in why are you laughing? I didn't finish it. In Space Jam,
Is
the
Drew
special
Lock
stuff.
a Jordan athlete?
I don't know. I'm just trying to help my guy out. I think somehow he was able to get a bottle of Michael Jordan's special stuff from Space Jam.
At the 2 minute warning.
Yeah, at the 2 minute warning, and drank some of that special stuff.
The special stuff is inside you the whole time. Yeah, Seattle up to 7-7. They're tied for second place in the NFC West with the Rams. The Niners, of course, 11-3, and then the Philadelphia Eagles dropped to 10-4, and currently in the wild card. That's crazy,
man. The new playoff format. What did it start like 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
where it's just I don't know how many years, but it's just one team getting to bye,
right,
per conference.
And then it made it like 10-win teams now. It's difficult for a 10-win team to get into the playoffs now. Like you have to, like, if you win 10 games, you're not. Before you won 10 games and you were almost guaranteed to get in the playoffs. Now you win 10. It's just now you're still looking behind you like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean I think the Eagles and the Cowboys have clinched. So in the NFC, 10 wins is a clinch. 10 wins is a playoff spot. In the AFC, that is not the case.
Right.
It's tougher to get into the playoffs.
Because the NFC is soft.
Hey, they just don't win as much. Look, the top of the teams, right? The top of the conferences are about the same. 11, they're 11-3, 11-3. But you go to the wild cards, where it becomes best teams remaining after those 4 division winners. And the 5, 6, and 7 seed in the AFC are the Cleveland Browns at 9-5, the Cincinnati Bengals at 8-6, and the Indianapolis Colts at 8-6. So the first wild card is 9-5. In the NFC, well, the first wild card is the Eagles, right? Because them and the Cowboys are tied at 10-4. But then you have the Vikings at 7-7 and the Rams at 7-7, who are the 6 and 7 seeds. So yeah, I guess it's just even at different spots. Maybe it's more spread out. It's more spread out winning over the AFC, and it's more consolidated winning at the top of the NFC. Actually, the NFC's got 4 double-digit win teams already. So we have no idea what we're talking about.
I know Drew Lock is pretty locked in on all those things you just said, because he's super emotional at his they're interviewing after the game, and he's talking about it, and he's tearing up during the interview.
Oh yeah, shout out to Luke. I went to go see if the guys were writing about it in the group chat, and he's like, if you watched that post game and didn't become a fan, you don't love football, damn it. That's a Seahawks fan right there. Also, I think he has a Drew Lock fan too. Like, I think he wanted him to be the starting quarterback.
Before Geno was doing good. Yeah, before Geno was doing good, like he was actually hoping that Drew Lock would have gotten the start. So shout out to him, man. Because Drew Lock wasn't a bum. It's not like when they got him in the trade, like Drew Lock was just one of those guys like, man, and we'll throw in Drew Lock. You know what I mean? I mean, he was great in college. He wasn't too great at Denver. You know what I mean? But not.
I think they wanted to get rid of him. They were like, well, we're not going to have this guy on our team when we trade for Russell Wilson.
But yeah, so good for Drew Lock. Good for Luke for, being having foresight into saying that Drew Lock could really be the guy if he wanted to.
But yeah, whatever. The bottom of the NFL standings, when we're looking at first overall pick, who we got? The Panthers still at 2-2, and the Patriots and the Cardinals there at 3-11, trying to fight it out for that final playoff spot. But like you said, the Panthers don't have their own pick, right? That belongs to the
Yeah,
Bears.
that belongs to the Bears,
Uh,
who also have another at least a top 10 pick in the draft.
hey, the Chargers have an earlier pick than the Bears.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh,
So I remember when this week started, when Week 15 started, the Chargers had the 10th overall pick, and the Raiders had the sixth overall
6.
pick.
And now we probably have the 10th, and the Chargers probably have the 6th.
Yeah, seventh for the Chargers and 10th for the Raiders now. So you guys, you go. You keep winning. You win. Just win, baby. I'm hoping Easton Stick doesn't get like some magic Drew Lockness or some crazy wins out of nowhere. I'm fine if the defense gives up points and the Chargers, I don't know, end up with a top 6 pick. Bro,
That'd be nice.
I haven't picked that. Just imagining the talent you could add immediately
Right.
with like a top 7 pick.
And Brandon Staley's not there anymore, so he won't pick a kicker.
I, I mean, Tom Telesco also got fired. The GM got let go too. But the thing
Also,
is, the Chargers are about to hit a wall financially. Like they got Justin
right.
Herbert gets
Yeah,
paid next
yeah.
season. His first year getting paid big. So we basically wasted his rookie contract and
Now you
now
have to pay
are
it.
paying and now are paying top dollar for a very talented quarterback that hasn't necessarily shown anything yet. Like he's statistically doing what he has to do. He's very consistent, but he gets knocked out a lot. And then the defense always manages to give up just enough points for us to lose. So yeah, that's not good enough. Definitely want an improvement in that. But yo, I'm thinking Bill Belichick, West Coast Bill Belichick for the defense. Let Kellen Moore continue to cook. Justin Herbert and him have a good relationship. So yeah, Kellen Moore stays as offensive coordinator. Get like a tough gruffy. Who's the toughest, gruffiest guy you can think of? Bill Belichick. That's just go around barking shit at people. So it's like sarcastically snarky, just being shitty, just like, oh come on, Justin, you really gotta throw that? Tom would never. Like just whatever to do what he needed to do to get people out of their freaking heads and onto the field and playing high speed, fast, tough defense. I think the defense, obviously, you fix the defense, the offense continues to do what they've been doing. That's wins.
Man, you know what? As a non-Chargers fan and as a fellow AFC West occupant, you guys are gonna hire Bill Belichick, let go of Kellen Moore. You're gonna bring in Josh McDaniels and Matt Patricia as your offensive and defensive coordinator. You're gonna let go of Justin Herbert because you don't want to
Yo,
pay him. You guys are gonna draft a mediocre quarterback at 6, and then yeah.
we can't. We've signed Justin Herbert to 4 or 5 year contract, so he's not leaving. Uh, yeah, I don't know. We
Nah,
need. I mean,
yeah.
I'm still excited about the players that we took. Even Quinton Johnston, the first over or the
And
21st
then
overall pick, our
yeah.
first rounder. He's gonna get better. Like hopefully he fixes the drops, but his speed, his movement, his agility, he's got big play
See, there you
potential.
go. I like that.
Definitely. So and then Suli Tuipulotu's been freaking working this year. Like definitely earning his
Oh
money.
yeah, definitely.
Should be
He's
getting
just
bonuses. Uh,
I understand a lot of people wanting Belichick and everybody talking about like not picking a coordinator because they want a head coach who's been a head coach. But how do you get these coaches to be coaches? They gotta learn, right? They gotta become a coach in the first place. So I'm always
who
one to like picking a coordinator who's proven though, like because a lot of these coordinators are also the associate head coaches. So I mean, they're learning. One guy I know who's just every offseason is attached to teams who need a coach is Eric Bieniemy. I'd like to see Eric Bieniemy become a head coach somewhere. I think I think he'd be good. Also, Brian Flores probably should be a head coach somewhere as well. You know,
Brian Flores, where is he at now? He's like
Minnesota,
calling hella blitzes. Yeah,
Minnesota's defense. Yeah, they all man.
I'm really afraid we're gonna hire Matt Patricia. Like the Eagles are gonna have like a great shutout defense, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, they switched to Matt Patricia on the field," and then we're gonna get.
I don't know. He wasn't that great in Detroit, so I don't
I
know.
know
Yeah,
exactly.
he's a really good coordinator, though. You know what I
Yo,
mean?
definitely need a defense in
Yeah.
Los Angeles. So that'll be fun. What is Jim Harbaugh? You think Jim Harbaugh is a possibility?
I think for any team looking right now, I think he is. Even I think still he's the odds of him staying at Michigan are greater than him moving up into the NFL, just because of man, how can you not go back to a place that's fighting to keep you into a job where everybody else in the NCAA is fighting to kick you out of that job? You know what I mean? Like Michigan goes hard for it, man. They've never really like wavered. They've never said anything like, "Oh well, we're gonna have to reevaluate Jim Harbaugh as our head football coach." You know, we don't really like. No, what did they do? He got suspended. They accepted it, but they were like, you know what? After the suspension, we're just gonna go right back into the extension talks. You know, we want him to stay. They're giving him a raise. It's like, whoa, man, why would I leave? So, like, yeah, but stranger things have happened. And I think Saban was lured to the NFL once. Um,
Statement, yeah.
Harbaugh was good in the NFL when he was there, so it's not like you're getting Urban Meyer or Saban, who didn't have a great run in the NFL
Urban
either.
Meyer,
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. No one wants another Urban Meyer. So yeah, Jim Harbaugh would be a great pick. I think everybody saw the job he did in San Francisco. They see how he's brought Michigan back up to the playoffs in college. Number one, in fact, probably undefeated. So yeah, why would you not want to play for Jim Harbaugh?
I just want the coach to be like inspiring and also to change the culture because it's like I feel like a lot of SoCal teams are like soft. Like you can run on the Chargers. You can like beat their defense down. You can like the Lakers, if shit isn't going well, you can feel it. You can see it in their body language, just like the way
Oh
they
yeah,
play and shit.
I mean, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just
Maybe
uh
yeah. I think it's just the stigma that comes with being in California, especially in LA, where it's like, yeah, man, everything's laid back, cool, beach guy. You
it's
know what I
good.
mean?
We're good, man.
Right,
We're good
yeah,
at this. But then when
yeah.
like push comes to shove and you're at Fenway in the World Series, you can't hit any. Like like the Dodgers disappear in the playoffs. Like that shit is it's cool when it's cool, but then when push comes to shove, LA's not showing up, and that's like not you can't have that. So we've already started with the in-season cup. Okay, we won the first NBA cup. Okay, now let's get that rolling. We signed Shohei. Let's get that rolling. The Chargers, the freaking Rams. Let's get the Rams into the playoffs. The Rams have already won a Super Bowl. Actually, fuck them. Let's get the Chargers a good general manager. First off, it needs to be a general manager because the general manager is going to pick the pieces. He needs to pick the
Right.
coaches to run the system that he wants. And then that general manager needs to pick a coach, and they both need to be on the same page. Look, what's your coaching style? What's my picking style? Who do I think is going to be best for this team? How can you bring out their best talents and use them on the field? Analytically, what can we do to put ourselves in positive situations? Like all that
And
needs to
that's why a lot
get
of
set
Raider
up.
fans were optimistic about Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler because it seemed like they were coming together and like what I mean, like they were on the same page. It seemed like they were about to go there and just build something because both of them had the same vision. But now with all the stories coming out about Dave Ziegler wanting to trade up for CJ Stroud and McDaniels not wanting that, and then just butting heads about players coming onto the team. Yeah, definitely what you're saying. Both your GM and your coach have to be. They don't have to be like best friends, but they definitely have to be on the same page. So that way, you know, the GM is going out on a limb to go get these players and spend this money, and they better be players that you both decide that they're going to be good for the team, fit a system, fit your culture. In fact, so
Culture.
yeah, that's why I like Antonio Pierce right now for the Raiders. Just he's really building on the outside as we're outsiders looking in. It seems like Antonio Pierce is building a championship type culture where guys there want to play for Antonio Pierce and they want to win and they want to play hard.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, it just that's that's what you want to see in your coach. I think most of all is that your players want to play for him in the first place. Because if you don't have that, then you just have a lot of guys out there playing for money.
Yeah, and the contracts you're getting paid what you're getting paid, so you just gotta get through the game.
Right.
And sometimes you see people like George Pickens. I swear, a couple times this week he was just standing around. He's like, "Let's get this over with." I was like, "Bro,
man, is it time for Mike Tomlin to be gone? Is it time for him to leave Pittsburgh? What if the Chargers make a run at Mike Tomlin?
Okay, wow, whoa,
Yeah,
there is a thought."
yeah. I mean, because this is in the first season. A lot of people, especially Steelers fans, have voiced their opinion about maybe parting ways with the head coach Mike Tomlin. He's been there for so long. Maybe it is time for a culture change.
Wow,
So,
that's an idea. Mike Tomlin is a leader of men. Like
right. That's what I'm saying. And it's not like I'm not saying he can't do the job there. Maybe he just has outlived his welcome in Pittsburgh, and it's just not working with the guys there. Maybe it's time for a lot for players a change of scenery. A lot of the times does them wonders. You know what I mean? Yeah. Revive careers, start careers. So maybe you can do that for Mike Tomlin. Imagine that Mike Tomlin led Chargers team.
I don't hate that idea. That is that's pretty crazy. Like if he just walked in with his Super Bowl rings, bro, the Chargers would eat that up. Like the players would be like, "Yo, here's somebody that has it." Like Brandon Staley was in there, like trying to be motivational, trying to be inspiring and positive. He's a great guy, has a great story, overcame cancer, like became a top defensive coordinator, albeit with freaking prime Aaron Donald and prime Jalen Ramsey. Right. I think might have helped. Looking back now,
it goes hand in hand. It's not, it's
yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you have great players, you're gonna like.
That's true, but
you're gonna win.
That's a lot of coaches.
Phil Jackson.
Hey.
Yeah. Phil Jackson, 12 championships.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, and,
of course, he's got great players, but you still need those great players to execute your vision of what the team's going to be. So, do the Chargers not have a Super Bowl?
We have a Super Bowl appearance.
No, my question was, I'm just kidding. I know the answer to this question.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin. Hell yeah. Come through. I saw that Matt Patricia was like the defensive coordinator stepping up, calling the plays for the Eagles, and I was just like, had a flash nightmare of him being introduced as the Chargers' next head coach.
No, I don't think
that's the guy.
Well, I don't think he wants to be a head coach again right now, so early at least, because his stint in Detroit still has to be fresh in his mind, and to watch Dan Campbell go over there and then push, to push Detroit into the era of football that they're playing now, it has to be a little disheartening because it's like, damn.
Jared Goff, what are you talking about? It's just Jared Goff.
Oh, yeah, because it was his fault all the time. Okay. Even the Rams.
No, now he's the guy. Now Jared Goff is the reason. Wait, was Jared Goff there with Matt Patricia? I think he was there with Dan Campbell.
Well, that was the trade. Right before Matt Patricia was fired.
Okay. Yeah, see? And now the Lions are good. It's just Jared Goff. It's not Dan Campbell.
No, of course not.
It's not them getting hyped up to play for a coach that pumps them the fuck up.
bro. Watching him, especially like watching him. Was it Hard Knocks? It was Hard Knocks.
Oh yeah,
Like that first season, like him just coming out and with his players and like running the drills with them. That's crazy, man. I mean, it's kind of the same reason a lot of those guys like Pete Carroll. You know what I mean? His interaction with the team and just it's genuine. You know what I mean? So,
Pete Carroll's still out there slinging it.
man, does not look like he's what is he, 76? Is that what they said he was?
Uh, Damn, the Bears are gonna get the first overall pick for freaking
They sure are.
letting the Panthers take Bryce Young. That's crazy. Um, Shout outs. You got any big shout outs? Any people doing crazy stuff this week?
Oh
Any good things
man.
going on?
More of a sad shout out, man. We got news a couple days ago. One of my very good friends, Tipo Sua, was lost at sea. I don't know the details right now, but the search for him has stopped. So I hope you found peace, my brother. I know there was a lot going on with you over the years. So yeah, man. Even if you have friends out there who doesn't like, if it seems like they need help, or you know them, even if they don't seem like that, you should always be checking on your friends, man. Checking on your people, make sure they're okay. I know people who are going through dark times. Sometimes that's not enough, but at least you're doing your part to make sure they're okay. So, Tiba, man, wherever you're at, hope you come home soon so your parents, your brothers and sisters can have a little closure, man. But most of all, I hope you found your peace, man. And I love you more than anything. So, yeah, man, shout out to you, my guy. Shout out to you.
I feel like if there was ever a person that could like mysteriously throw off the scent to go away and handle what he needed to do, like fight some crazy battle somewhere, it would be Tipa Sua.
Right. And I
And
I know
that's what
he
I'm gonna believe.
amen. That's exactly what you couldn't have said any better. And Tip was one of those guys, like he was everybody's little brother, everybody's best friend. But if you didn't love him, you probably hated him. You know what I mean? Like there was no in between. Like, and it wasn't because he did something like to you. It just looked like if you didn't like him, it looked like he was just over the top all the time, or just like like obnoxious. It looked like he was obnoxious all the time. But if you loved him, you knew that there wasn't anything he wouldn't do for you. Like it didn't matter how he was, what situation he was in, how low he was or how high he was. If you needed something, he got it for you. Like just he was also like if you thought you were like, man, it's if he was your friend, and in the back of your head you're like, bro, I hope I don't see this dude today. I don't need it. That's exactly what you needed. You know what I mean? You needed to probably to see people that day. And so I'm also very good friends with his father because I work for his father, Aspo. So my heart goes out to him.
Yeah.
Sua he's a great man, and his brother Saifullah worked with him too. Another great man. So that's a big loss because he's lost somewhere, and hopefully he's figuring out whatever he needs to figure out. So love to you, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tipa, class of
Also,
'07,
also
outsiders.
outside, also one of the biggest Raider fans ever,
Yeah.
ever, ever. He's the guy that you want to be on your team, but you hate that he's cheering against your team. Like if he's cheering against your team, you will end up wanting to fight him just because he was such a Raiders fan. So I have nothing but good memories with my guy. So yeah, we're
So
gonna make some more.
true Raider fan,
Yes,
a menace,
a menace.
and a great friend.
Yes, because yes, both,
Yeah,
both.
yeah, Raider through and through. Shout out to Tipa. Shout out to
Yes,
everybody
sir.
out there. Check on your homies. Talk. Yeah, and we're glad that you guys are listening here.
And yeah,
And
on a brighter note, one more. Shout out to Elisa Pity for throwing down 37 points against the number one team in women's college basketball against South Carolina. They just beat Southern Utah, I think it was. She had another great game, but there was so much non-talk about Alisa Beatty in the next upcoming WNBA draft that now she's made enough noise with that performance, which is by far not by far one of her greatest performances. Yes, probably the best one, but she's been killing like that since she's got to Utah. I know the transfer might have thrown you guys off,
Yeah.
right? The transfer from USC might have thrown you off, but since the moment she's gotten to Utah, she's not only been carrying that team, she's been one of the best girls in the sport. And for analysts not to talk about her getting drafted in this upcoming draft is ridiculous. She has probably some of the best footwork ever. I know she doesn't fit your build as a post player, like Angel Reese, 6'4", 6'3". I think she's about 6'1" though, but she's got an inside out game. You know what I mean? She'll kill you down low. She grabs boards like I told somebody she pulls boards down like a 2-year-old at a science fair. You know what I mean? Just every board there is hers, and she's gonna pull it down for. She can hit from the outside, deadly inside, good passer. So I've seen some of the mock drafts are now starting to talk about her. I hope she makes her way into the top 10 of the draft this coming year because she deserves to. Shout out to you, Elisa Beatty, and for being a great, I don't know what the word is, but just a great representative of both your cultures. She is half Native American, so one of the games she came out in a garment made by her grandmother of Native American descent, representing her native side, not just her Samoan side, but her native side. So yeah, great representative of both your cultures. So shout out to you. Shout out to you. Keep it up.
There you
Keep it
go.
up.
Shout out to everybody listening. Thank you guys. Check out Levasa Island Apparel for your holiday gifts or your post-holiday gifts. I know they're going to still have
Hell
a
yeah.
bunch of the good gear up throughout the end of the year. So definitely check them out. www.levasaislandapparel.com.
Lance got one of the special ones on. Show him, Lance, what you wearing,
Hey,
man.
this is one of the from the
With
tie dye collection we
the
got
tie-dye
from this
collection.
year. Levasa got that chunky style, got that Van Camp flip. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, but also check them out. www.levasaislandapparel.com. Check us out at Ballinesian on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube. And follow us, rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We also are working with the Polyticket Network. Check their YouTube channel out. We got Pacifica Movie Starter Kit, where we reviewed Boy. Got to post that coming on Tuesday, tomorrow.
Look at me. Look at me.
Shogun.
Yes. Oh, God.
Also, way back Wednesday, we did the 1994 movie and show draft with Cepha M. I picked Lion King. I think it ends there, right there. Like I won.
Man, I was watching. I was like, man, some of these, like, you guys are picking the explain. I was like, it's disrespectful. These fools. Like, so these fools are hella disrespectful talking about some of these movies that we're talking about.
What are you talking about?
It's funny because like even Cepha picked. I know you guys were talking about Little Giants and you guys like some of the things you're talking about. It's like these fools didn't even want to go back and check like clips about it. I just bought that on my Xbox a couple of days ago, so I watched it. I was like
just don't even know. Little Giants. Not check out the list for there, and also
check out the list. It was fun. Yeah,
the Polyticket podcast and the Patreon. But you can find all those shows there at the Polyticket Network on YouTube. And yeah, go do something freaking crazy. Go live your life. Be great. Continue to be great.
Amen.
Thank you. Forrest, appreciate you for being on. Again, this has been the Ballinesian Podcast, episode 91. Thank you all for listening. Catch you guys next week. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay ballin'. Love and light. Peace.